What's up, y'all? What's up? Hello. Devin Dorsey, back. I had a long Memorial weekend. First of all, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy Dev, back again for the first. Y'all know this right there. I had a long weekend this weekend. Memorial weekend passed, and I was kind of just taking a little break from YouTube. I don't know. I wasn't really feeling it. Y'all know me, man. Whenever I'm not really feeling something and just kind of not in the mood, I just won't do it because of the kind of my energy will reflect or it will show in the videos I do. So I kind of just stayed away. I did listen to some music on stream. I chilled, the Young Nudie. I did that full reaction. I put it on Patreon. I did a lot of other stuff too. I still got to listen to, Sabrina Rodrigo. Her name is Olivia Rodrigo, I think her name is. And there's a couple other artists I need to listen to. I need to listen to Young Michigan Boat, whatever that shit's called. Also, that Jack Harlow Eminem track I need to listen to. We got a lot of stuff coming, man. Lil Baby's about to drop with Lil Durk tonight. We also got a Roddy Ricch single. We also got Polo G next week, as well as the Migos. So I think it was kind of a great break for me, before we actually get into some more great albums or hyped albums for the year, at least. But this video is exactly what it's called. I decided to come back and, when I was away, man, I saw a lot of topics. I saw a lot of talks about this Mount Rushmore of hip hop. I saw a couple people's opinions on that. For the most part, a lot of people agreed on, or the majority of people agreed on Drake, J. Cole, Kendrick. I think that was the consensus there. Everybody came together. Those are the three. Now, the argument here is the fourth. And a lot of people said it was easy answer. And some people were kind of arguing. Me, myself, I was like, thinking about the answer. And I was like, damn, it's kind of hard when you really, think about it, when you try to put a fourth there. Because there's a lot of artists I think that from the 2010s and 2020s really deserve it. I think a lot of people too are getting confused about the 2010s and on. I think that's what a lot of people are confused about. A lot of people are putting some different artists in there, and I was like, we're talking about the 2010s. Can't get lost in the answer. That's what happens with a lot of people. They get lost in the context. They get lost in, we're not talking about all time. We're talking about in 2010s. I think I saw Sean even got a little too literal with it, because again, I understand exactly what it was referencing, but Sean talking about Mount Rushmore and it's the founders and blah blah blah, the staples and all that, and then he was talking about the influence that these artists have had on. Like, no, I'm just talking about, for me, and I think the way that everybody kind of answered the question and answered who's on the Mount Rushmore is basically comparing it is who is the four greats of the 2010s. That's literally it. All right, not the founders, not the creators, blah blah blah. Just who is the greats of 2010. That's all they're asking. All right. And when I say that, I do think that there's a strong argument for it to be Future. All right. I do agree with that. I think that would have been the safest answer that we could have put. Future should have been the artist there easily. I think that even if his later in the 2018, 19 wasn't as strong. Again, I didn't really like High Off Life, but a lot of y'all really enjoyed that. But I feel like his run between 2010 all the way to 2016 was just too strong. We got One a Time to Be Alive, Dirty Sprite 2, 56 Nights, Purple Rain, Evol was on there as well. What else did he release that was kind of crazy? Future, Hendrix, Beast Mode 2. There's a lot of shit that he just kind of just released that was just so strong, and a lot of people kind of forget that 2010 was so long ago. It was a decade ago, and when you think about the start of that 2010, time does fast. For some people time does kind of go slow, but for others time goes real fast. And when you think about it, man, like Future was really running it for about 7 years. Now there are other artists that I say that could have been like a 4D, or 4B, 4A, 4A, B, C, D, if you want to, put it into my terms, because I think there was other artists that actually deserve that spot as well. I would say Nicki Minaj, when they did vote her in, this is kind of what this video is about. They did a poll or a vote. I don't know what kind of vote was that, but it was solidified that Nicki Minaj was the fourth. I'm not mad at that answer either. I think that Nicki Minaj also deserves to be on that Mount Rushmore. Think about what she did between the 2010s, starting off with My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and then going on from there to kind of just creating her legendary career that she had as a female MC. I know a lot of people like to kind of just knock down female hip hop artists or female artists in general, but We're not gonna sleep on Nicki Minaj like she wasn't doing the damn thing all the way up to, I say, arguably 2017, 2018. Same thing with her later in her career, where I kind of just felt like it was getting a little whatever. Yeah, well, we do not agree that. Look, I'm gonna say Anaconda for me is like a track that I'm just like whatever, but if it comes on, I'm jamming to it. You know, you can't knock her number ones off. You can't knock what she did. What she did in female rap history, what the numbers that she was pulling. Even before there was a Cardi B, I know a lot of people don't like to put the Nicki Minaj and Cardi B in the same sentence, but even what she did before with Cardi B, you can't, like, she was killing the game. All right, there was no female MC touching Nicki Minaj, and Nicki Minaj paved the way kind of for some of these kind of like artists now to do what they're doing. A lot of people will say Trina, no, but Nicki Minaj was that kind of that initial, doing what she was doing, what she does now, that kind of genre. So I feel like, man, look, we can argue if you want to go back Foxy Brown, all that, but no one was doing it as impactful as Nicki Minaj is right now. So when people bring up that Nicki Minaj argument, I don't see any fault in that. I don't see anything that's wrong with what anybody is saying. Nicki Minaj did the thing that she needed to do to be in this circle of talk. I feel like another artist I would have kind of put in there, but not really, like a 4D that I'm thinking about, is Wanna. It's Travis Scott. Travis Scott is an artist that I thought about. Like, I was really thinking about, like, damn, like, Travis, it's 2021, all right? So let's not act like Travis it hasn't been doing the damn thing now for the last, 6 years it's been? Obviously, days before Rodeo, Owl Pharaoh, I wouldn't say nah. He wasn't definitely on the map yet. Having, some production with Kanye, but on Yeezus, I think it was, that was kind of, that his name wasn't still out there. But when he got onto the scene in 2016, I think it was, he released 2015. Time be flying for me, but maybe it was 2014, days before Rodeo came out. That's when the push started happening with Travis. Travis started making these crazy tapes. Obviously, we know Rodeo, which is probably one of the best albums of the decade. So you can't literally get it out of here when, Rodeo was one of the best albums of the decade. I can't leave him out of the conversation because Travis Scott from 2015, I feel like if Travis Scott was on from 2010s all the way on, this would be a very trivial answer. I think that Travis Scott would have locked up that fourth spot personally because think about it. Astroworld, between the hype of Rodeo all the way up to Astroworld and then like him just Travis Scott being Travis Scott, I think like he should have, if he would have started earlier, there'd have been no argument for me. Y'all agree? Like for my Travis Scott fans and for the people that are kind of music fans and understand, just not being biased, Travis Scott, you can't say Travis Scott's name and you got to understand Travis Scott has his footprint in everything. And that was his run from 2015 to 2020. So I think that, that's the only reason why you can't really put him there, and it's kind of really why it's hard. Another artist I want to name is Cudi. We can say what we want, man. It may not have done the sales, but I say more of an impact type. Impact, not saying, I guess you want to say influence too, I guess. I don't really want to put it the technical definition of founders, but if we want to go more so on an influential type of artist, or we want to even go on a impactful, like Kid Cudi, man. Kid Cudi kind of created a lot of these artists that we have nowadays, kind of the kind of genre, the sad, very experimental hip hop, sad shit, whatever he kind of does, that, that was definitely a lot of Cudi there. Man on the Moon came out in 2009, so it's kind of hard if we were able to include Man on the Moon from 2010, and then obviously following up Man on the Moon 2, Indica, we got Wizard, we got a kid named Cudi, Passion Pain Demon Slaying, and now what he's doing now, Man on the Moon 3, which came out last year. I think that, man, Kid Cudi had a strong impact on 2020, man. I mean, on 2010s, 2020. A lot of people can say whatever you want, man, but this man has one of the strongest fan bases out there, and not one of the most cultful. And he literally has a cult. I think that, you can't really sleep on Kid Cudi on what he has done in the last decade as well. I think that a lot of people are really kind of out there. Now, this is all about hip-hop, too. Remember, this isn't about other genres, because if we were talking about other genres, then I would have to include Frank Ocean. All right, well, we know what Frank did, all right? But this is about hip-hop, so we're going to exclude Frank from this conversation. One artist that, too, I named Travis Scott, so I can't forget. Obviously, we can't forget Kanye West. I mean, I didn't forget about Kanye. A lot of people says Truly, 2010, 2020. I did argue if this was 2000s, then Kanye would have been the face of that shit. That would have been easy. Kanye West, Lil Wayne. I forget who else I would have put in the 2000 to 2010. I guess you would say Jay-Z. I would say Jay-Z too at that point. I'm trying to think of somebody else I would have put at that point that ran. It's kind of hard, you know. That fourth spot would have been very interchangeable as well. So, but think about like Kanye West. You know, Kanye still was killing it in the 2010s all the way to 2020. Kanye's hype was like no other. Kanye was still bringing the heat. Kanye was still bringing the numbers. He was still bringing the controversy. There was a lot of controversy actually with Kanye going on. Are we forgetting about Kanye? Are we forgetting about Watch the Throne? Are we forgetting about what was that one? Good Music Presents, whatever they did in that ooh mama. You know what I'm talking about? Baby, baby. Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? With the Dream, that shit was we had that was more of a good music project too, but he had that. Watch the Throne, very under, not low key, because a lot of people forgot about that shit. That came out in the 2010s, or it might have been late 2009. Don't quote me on that. If I am wrong, forget everything I am saying. But right now, I'm just talking as if it came out 2010, because I remember that's also when the Weekend House of Balloons around that same time came out. So I believe I was at UF, and I know I was at UF when I was in college. So I was kind of just roaming around. So it definitely had to be in the 2010, 11. Don't quote me on the date. All right, I'm just saying. We got Life of Pablo. All right, you know, an album that, you know, was really hyped up. Beautiful Moon, and probably one of the craziest transitions with Panda becoming its own song too. And then Father Stretch My Hands, we all know about that. The album has aged beautifully as well. The Life of Pablo 4, or the Life of Pablo. I keep it TLP 4. I keep thinking Life of Pierre. But TLP, Yeezus, let's not even talk about the whole controversy with Yeezus. That time, man, that was a critically acclaimed album. Y'all can say whatever y'all want. That was critically acclaimed, all right? That album was some groundbreaking shit. And it's kind of funny because I always tell y'all this. Y'all like to talk about Death Grips. Y'all like to talk about the conversation of who influenced who. I always tell you guys right now, if I wear Crocs, it does not matter. I can wear Crocs 10 years ago. If Kanye wear Crocs, guess what? Y'all can say I'm the one pioneer. I'm the first of it. But it doesn't matter, because the one that influenced between everybody is Kanye West. I hate the conversation everybody has with Death Grips. No one gives a fuck about Death Grips. All right, as much as I love them, in this conversation right here, we're talking about who impacted the genre. It ain't Death Grips. It's Kanye West. Hate to break it to y'all, all right? Kanye West made what it is now and what's happening now. Kanye West has a lot of effect on that. So I think that too, man, having Kanye West is not very a clear cut between Future and Kanye, because I feel like with The Life of Pablo, Watch the Throne, Yeezus, obviously he had Ye too. That was also another album that y'all can say y'all already won, but it was fire. Now, Jesus is King is definitely one of the albums that I am very disappointed in, but it won gospel. It got a Grammy, best gospel album. It was a gospel album, so that's what he wanted to do. That's what he wanted to do. I think that you know, Kanye definitely deserves a spot there, because if you even include My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, if it dropped just a little bit, I think it dropped, actually, if I'm not wrong, I believe it dropped in 2010. Hold on. Let me actually check it right here, because I want to fact check it, because I want to say something if it did. Let me see. Had to release. Oh shit. Then honestly, if you ask me now between him and Future, I think it's hard. It's hard now. It's hard. That came out in 2010. I know earlier I mentioned Nicki Minaj on the verse, but that came out 2010. It's really hard now at this point if you're asking me. You got My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. You got The Life of Pablo. You got Yeezus. You got Ye. You got Watch the Throne. It's hard, bro. Like, he released 5 quality, like, and I'm not talking about like Future, because Future definitely was killing it from a great standpoint. I think Dirty Sprite 2, What a Time to Be Alive being the peak. Also, what was the other project? 56 Nights also being that he had that crazy year. Future had that crazy year. I think that was definitely a 3-peat right there. That was crazy. I know I hate how people kind of do that. That definitely did start with the Future, with the Kobe picture, and then all the pictures like with you know, killing it. As much as I love Beast Mode, as much as I love Purple Rain, all those, I'm not gonna sit there and act like it was some crazy ass classic like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy was, The Life of Pablo, The Watch the Throne. These are all, you know, groundbreaking albums, you know, top tier albums, all right? But Future definitely, you know, top tier. 56 Nights, March Madness being one of the songs of the decade. And then, you know, you having Dirty Sprite 2, which I feel like is the greatest trap album in terms of trap now, because I say the greatest trap album is Thug Motivation 101. in the old trap, because trap is more of a sound than a lifestyle now. You know what I'm saying? Trap music now is more of a sound. Well, as before, it was more of a lifestyle. So that's why I kind of call them both trap albums of all time, but to each their own. You know, Dirty Sprite 2, Thug Motivation 101. As you can see on my wall. 102 is actually on my wall. I can't get a 101 yet. But I think that, man, when you look at it, man, like Kanye definitely has an argument now that I looked at it in 2010 when My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy came out, because I remember it was a cold ass night the night I listened to it. So yeah, it had to either be in 2009, but that would have been when I was in high school, so that could not no, I would have been graduated high school. So yeah, it had to either be 2009 or it had to be 2010. I do kind of just, it's kind of fluttery right now that I'm thinking about it, but now I'm kind of coming back to it. But I think that Kanye definitely has an argument there too, between Nicki, Kanye, and Future. I think there's really no wrong answer there. Like I said, Kid Cudi also could be one, but he's probably gonna be least represented just because of his numbers. But in terms of impact and, influence, I think Cudi is just as much deservedly so than any other artist there. And also Travis Scott, if he would have started earlier, I think you have to put Travis in there, because what he did in the last 6 years is just amazing in itself. And I think that, it's kind of hard, just kind of not leaving Travis's name out there, and remember not acknowledging what he did in the last 6 years. He's been killing the fucking game from since he started and since he finished. If this wasn't rap, obviously The Weeknd would have been up there. I could have put Frank Ocean. Shit, Taylor Swift been killing it for the last decade. It's a lot of people that you could have put, but this is all about hip hop right now, so that's kind of just what we're talking about. And I think that, when you put names like that, it's kind of just hard. Trying to think of somebody else that you could kind of name. I'm trying to think if there's names I missed out, you guys can kind of mention it in the comment box below. But I think about somebody like Rick Ross. Think about somebody like Rick Ross. Rick Ross been making music since 07, 06, Port of Miami. Other than that, I feel like Ross has also been killing it, and he's found his own lane, obviously, but a lot of people still underrate Ross's music to be up there, and I think that Ross will also be a contender for one of those big ass names, because Ross been doing it for albums. I mean, Ross has been relevant, and like he said, let's not talk about who had the biggest hits, 8 years ago. Let's talk about in 20 years who got the most money. You know what I'm saying? Like, who was out here getting the bag and not talking about the bag. Let's hear it then. You know what I'm saying? So I could kind of appreciate, the kind of the hustle model that Ross has become in, his now career. So amazing career. And, like I said, we got to put Wunna up there. Wunna got to definitely be in it. Thug. Oh, shit. Before we actually leave, let's talk about Thug, man. Thug was also another artist I feel like could have been somebody that was very impactful, man. Him. Remember he had Rich Gang. He was doing his thing then. Obviously, he had Stoner when he first started. And then Barter. We got the Barter 6. He's been doing his thing. Jeffrey. Beautiful Thugger Girl. As much as I didn't like that, y'all had that. And just for the kind of artist that he's put on. I always say this thing is not just about the music. I feel like it's also about influence. It's also about impact. It's also about who you are, and what you've done for hip hop. What you've done, not influence, but what you've just done. Like, your impact of your name, I feel like too also works. So Young Thug, I didn't give him a big segment here, but I think that Young Thug is also an artist too that deserves to be on here, and did his thing. So that being said, though, man, I could talk to you guys all day about this. Welcome back, man. I'm finally back, man. It's been a great hiatus, man, but time to get back to work, man. We're gonna stream if you want to watch the live streams, that's all kind of what I'm doing right now. Live streams only for the most part, and then upload it on YouTube, then on Patreon. If y'all want to watch that, follow me on twitch.tv/meami_ami. Don't forget, follow me on social media, what you hear, miss all the updates, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. Let me know which artist you think that belongs on your Mount Rushmore. Comment your top 4 on the Mount Rushmore. It doesn't have to be any specific order, but you can kind of comment where you want to put it in. Why the fuck is there a new music by? All right, gotta mute that. But kind of comment on where you guys feel like the 4th spot should be. I think the first 3 are solidified, but the 4th spot is the one that's really up in the air. So that being said, man, get in the comments below, man, what you think. Don't forget, follow me on social media once you're here. Until next time, man, we're out. Peace.